that would listen to needs and also operate in markets that some of the larger chains wouldn't. 7 years later, we have 12 projects in Nigeria, 2 in South Africa, 1 in Ghana. And it all started from a simple idea of doing something different. It's not really about Thornbury, it's about that your ideas are important. You must believe in them and you must follow that. I think from my point of view, what makes a good leader? A good leader is someone that has convictions of their own and they stick to those convictions. You retain them, you don't change them. Also, a leader is not about a title. Please be very aware of that. I know it's in South Africa and Nigeria, people like titles. They like to be called this or that or the other. But you know what? The title doesn't matter. Not really. What matters is what you do with what you are. And being a leader means you take responsibility. It doesn't mean, oh, I don't want to do that job. It means that sometimes you do have to do that job. From a hospitality point of view, there's a very glamorous bit of it that you can meet presidents, prime ministers, members of royal families. But there's also a point of view where you might be having to clean something not so nice up from the floor. But a leader will have to take turns in doing that and make sure their team is driven by it. So it's very important that as a leader, it's not all about putting money into your pocket. It's about having belief in yourself and belief in your team. Because if you can have that, you can do absolutely anything. As I said, internal choices are important. And you've got to choose where you want to go, how you want to achieve things. But you must carry on with that belief. I think it's been said a couple of times. But when we started Thornbury, many people said you will not succeed, it won't happen. But you keep going, keep going, keep going, and eventually it will happen. But it'll only happen if you have the personal belief in what you're doing and the passion to make it happen. Otherwise, it will not. And please, don't blame others when things go wrong. Some of the best things you can learn is when mistakes happen. The idea is to learn from those mistakes and make sure, if possible, they don't happen again. But if you never take any decisions or any risks, you'll never make any mistakes. And if you never make any mistakes, you won't learn anything. So please, don't think every time something goes wrong, that's the worst thing that can happen. No, it's not. It just means you've learned something else. For an example, if you think about light bulbs, Edison has found, what, 200,000 ways of not making it work, and one way that made it work. And now we have light bulbs. So it's continuously trying, not giving up. I think just a little bit about hospitality. People always ask, we operate in South Africa and Nigeria, and people ask, why is South Africa so popular with tourism? Before, countries share similar. But South Africa, what's so different about South Africa that Nigeria can't do? Does have South Africa locations and things that Nigeria doesn't have? Yes, but not too much difference. But from a hospitality point of view, South Africa works because the whole of South Africa understands that for every 3 visitors that come into the country and enjoy themselves, that creates 1 new job within South Africa. Also, and I know people have spoken about it, the self-belief of South Africans in what they and their country can do is massive. The World Cup in 2010, everyone wrote South Africa off. They're not going to host it, it'll be terrible, they're not organised, the hotels won't be ready, the stadiums won't be ready, it won't happen. And at the end of the World Cup, the comments were it was the best World Cup ever. And what happened? Every single person in that country got behind the event. It wasn't driven, no one was paid. Everyone just wanted to prove a point that South Africa and Africa can host the world's top events and do it better than anyone else. But to achieve that, you guys and all of us have to believe you can do it. Because if you do, you will do it. There's no mistaking that. Hospitality. Become a leader in hospitality. Huge growing market in Nigeria. Nigerian hospitality is growing at about 14% year on year. I think if you look even in Nsukka themselves, 2 new hotels, 3 new hotels opening in the next 12 months. Hospitality is an option for someone that is determined. There is no reason why any of you sat here, if you feel like working in hospitality, you want to work hard, there's no reason that in 5 years, 10 years, you shouldn't be running your own property. Maybe you will travel to countries of your choice. Those are the availabilities. However, hospitality, education is very important. But the key attitude with hospitality and what we recruit for is attitude. If you have the right attitude, you have the right drive, you have the right determination, you will get there and you'll achieve what you wish. But again, that is down to each of you as individuals to choose. But please, as I said earlier, it's very important. I'm amazed by the speakers we've heard earlier, so I'm going to stop just about now. But what I'd like to end with is very simple. What you believe in is going to determine where you end up. If you don't believe in yourselves, you're not going to get to where you wish to be. And also remember that not everyone, unfortunately, is going to be the big man, the big woman. But those who enjoy what they do and have passion will just have as much fulfillment as those who have the big cars and the big money. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you.
The club was very brief. We didn't even let him sit down. You should clap until he sits down, at least. Are you tired? Okay, they say the only payment you will have to offer for all this speech is the clap. Won't you